Hey, viewers and viewers, my name is General Rich Strategist, and welcome back to See Being Hunted, another podcast style episode, this time with me and Phil. How's it going, Phil?
It's going great. I'm here
Great.
again for, well, the game. The game, I think it is.
The
for
game.
The game that has put Andrew's channel on the map.
Well, it certainly
if
did
only-
back
if
in the
it-
day.
Well, yeah, even now. But if anyone wants to go, hang on a minute. Surely, I've just thought, because no one, would you not have get a? You could probably apply for a Guinness World Record, you know.
Really? Most See
I
Being
think you
Hunted
could.
episodes.
I honestly think you've got the Guinness World Record for the most See Being Hunted episodes.
Probably.
Because
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to be at 700. I honestly
No,
think
no one else
you can
will.
go for Guinness World Record.
Yeah.
I wonder. Maybe have a look on the website and see, because I know there's an application thing, and obviously they'd have to the adjudicators would have to look. But I think
Yeah.
you could get in there, and then if you do, you'd be in the the Guinness World Record gaming book.
Oh,
You could
yeah.
be in there with the YouTube channel with the most See Being Hunted episodes.
See, yes.
I
Indeed.
reckon you should give it a go.
Maybe. It's very one niche specific area.
Oh well, it's all that's the thing. There's loads
Yeah.
of niche things. I've read the Guinness Book Records Gaming Edition, and there's all sorts of niche things in there.
Yeah.
So it might be worth a
Indeed.
try.
Yes. Now, how are you doing,
But,
Phil?
Yeah, I'm not too bad
Yeah.
on our Sunday today.
Yes.
Doing. We're supposed to we were planning to do the blind man challenge with the blindfold
Connor,
challenge with Connor, but Connor's been a bit busy at the moment. He may pop in, who knows? So instead, it's time for a sort of life. It's time for one of our life skills,
Ooh.
our life tips. Do you remember those?
Yeah, yeah.
Done a few. I think we've done 3 so far. We've done home buying, car buying, and the social skills.
Oh, yes, that's
I think
right.
that was the last one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've obviously done ones on university life, college life, high school life, things like that. So this time, I've thought all the various ways, tips when travelling.
Tips when travelling. Okay, yeah.
Travel tips, yes, because all sorts of ones. Obviously, got car, boat, plane, train are the key ones, and what to watch out for, and things. So we'll start with because suppose what we can think about as well is if you're planning a car journey. Suppose the car's the first sort of one we can go over.
Yeah.
So car journeys or road trips or things like that. Because I suppose we did a small one when we went to Beamish,
Yeah.
which is quite a way away. We were, but the things you have to if you go on, but that was only like 2 hours away. But if you're going on bigger trips, like 3, 4, 5 hour trips down, there are key things you need to make sure with your car. The main thing is well, have you got enough petrol? So
Obviously.
that's a key thing.
Yeah.
Petrol, but tire pressure, air pressure of your tires is very key, because you don't want to have the tire pressure going down while you're blasting on the motorway.
No.
And having to put some air in it. So you've got to, because if you're packing up your boot with lots and lots of stuff, obviously you have to put more air pressure in your tires to accommodate for that.
Yeah.
It usually on the side panels, isn't it?
If you don't know where your tyre pressure is, it's usually sort of on the insides of your car doors, and it'll tell
Yeah.
you what sort of, is the roughly optimum pressure that your tyres should be. So then way you know what it ought to be, and you get like one of those devices that measures it and then injects a bit more if it needs to.
Yeah. Or it'll be in the owner's manual.
Yeah, that too.
They can be in there, but yeah, and then just put it onto a machine, and then it will do beeping when it's done. But that's a key thing, and mainly the other things of a car, windscreen washer fluid, brake
Yeah.
fluid. Make sure they're all that. Oil. Oh God, oil. Make sure your oil is at a
Yes.
decent level,
I mean,
because
more than
that's
anything,
vital.
Yeah, what this tells us, be familiar with the internal workings of your car, the very basics of it, so you know where to put those things,
Yeah.
where they go, and all that, so you're not, dependent on other people to have to point that out for you. A bit of self-sufficiency, ladies and gentlemen, is key.
I know that in the driving test now, they actually do that in
Yeah,
the actual
they do.
practical exam. They so where would you go to check the oil? Where do you go to check for the windscreen fluid? They actually check things like that.
Yes.
So that's a good thing to know. I remember when we went. Oh God, I know you've explained it in your episode called Red's Driving Stories, but the famous bloody episode with my car
Yes.
when we came back from Beamish. Oh God,
good
yeah.
fun.
You said because I watched that recently, and you were going, "Oh, is Phil's check engine light came on?" No. It wasn't check engine light at all. It was the oil light.
Yeah.
The oil light came on, and I thought it was just because I'd run low on oil. So we went to the petrol station, got some petrol, put some oil in, and the light didn't clear.
No, it
I was
didn't.
like, oh God.
Yeah.
So I thought, we're going to have to stop because it could cause major issues. So yeah, we had to stop into a pokey little side road, and I had to ring the AA.
Because basically your car would start again after we checked it. Like we couldn't go anywhere. It just wouldn't do anything.
Yeah. So I had to call the AA, and then we were waiting. And then the funny thing was, we saw him drive past.
Yeah.
And we're like, whoa. We tried to run out to him, but it's too late. He'd gone.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, for God's sake. And then he came round and he managed to find us. And then it was a little valve or something had come off the oil wire inside the bonnet. And unfortunately, didn't have the part.
So you had to go
So
and get it.
And we had to wait for that.
Yes, for an hour or whatever it was.
Yeah. Oh,
was
God.
terrible.
Eventually got it, and we were on our way. But yeah, it was a long old journey. Especially didn't help that we got stuck behind that bloody horse and carriage.
Oh, God. Coming back from Cumbria or wherever it was.
No. I think we got home. Yeah, we got home at like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I remember because we hadn't eaten anything. We were starving.
We were. Well, that's the sort of thing you do when you're young and you're just thinking, we'll go adventuring, and then your car breaks down and
I know.
it turns what should have been just a 2-hour journey into a freaking 7-hour journey or whatever.
Because of all that. Yeah, that's the thing. You just got to watch out on these things with cars, especially with super long journeys. Just make sure your car's in tip-top condition. And if you do add extra weight into the boot, make sure you're aware of that.
Yeah. The other thing I would always sort of say, about cars, which is always good to have, and it's something I've thought about really, that I should probably, put together for my car, just like a little like emergency kit that you can have in the boot or something.
Oh
Probably
God,
has
you're
like,
so right.
a thermal blanket, maybe just a few first aid bits and bobs, stuff like that. Yeah, I've been thinking for some time I should probably put something like that together. Not that you'd necessarily ever have to use it, but it's good to have there just in case you ever.
You're
have an
100%
emergency.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe, I keep saying this, but dash cams.
Yeah, dash cams, yeah. That's something else, for a long-ass time. Quite a while ago we were both talking about it would be good to have those, and I'd forgotten about that. Yes.
Yeah, because it's good for video evidence.
It is.
If someone tries to nab you and say, oh, no, he crashed into it. No, didn't.
Nope, we
Look
didn't.
at this.
Yeah.
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 It's
good if you can especially get like two of them, one for forward and one for rear.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
I thought for a minute you said one for Ford.
One for Ford.
One specifically for Ford cars.
Ford cars.
Just Ford cars only. This one is for Ford cars only. You can't use it in any other car.
Nope.
On pain of death.
Yes.
You will die from dying.
Indeed. And the other thing I suppose with car travelling that is just, these days I think is particularly just really good to do, and it may seem like a no-brainer, but, you're surprised at the number of people who probably don't do this, is actually, just taking a bit of time to sort of look at your route beforehand. And the thing is, like, obviously back in the day, you'd have just had to use road atlases, but these days, you have Google Maps with Street View and everything. You can look and, like, sort of familiarise yourself with the route beforehand, long before, you're ever having to go, so that way, when you are travelling it, you're in a better position to, make sure you're on the right route or whatever, especially if you're in an unfamiliar area, something like that.
Yes, yeah. And don't always, I mean, it's absolutely fantastic, but don't always fully 100% rely on GPS.
No, you don't
because sometimes there may be roads that haven't been mapped properly by GPS, and it will take you onto a wrong way, or there have been incidents of people taking a wrong turn because GPS said go that way, and they went into a river.
Yeah.
So... you just have to be careful and look out.
Yeah, but Google Maps is so helpful these days because you actually can sort of look at your route. You can familiarise yourself with any major landmarks that are on it, so you can use those as indicators that you're on the right track, things like that.
And if you see the Eiffel Tower, somehow you've ended up in Paris. I don't know how you did that.
How have you managed that, ladies and gentlemen? Right. Yes.
Those are key car ones. I think we've done there. So should we move on to a different mode of transport?
Yes, let's do that, Phil.
So we've got boat, plane, or train was I think the other one.
Choo-choo train.
Which should we look at next?
Should we go with choo-choo trains, Phil? Since
train,
they're pretty common.
Okay. Yes, train transport.
Indeed.
Now, so with train transport, obviously, I would say if you can. buy the ticket online.
Yeah.
Some places you can buy the ticket in the ticket station, but then once there's a big queue and you're rushing and you're like, oh, I've got to get on. I'm going to miss the train. I'm going to miss the train. Oh, help! No, yeah, buy it online and get your ticket delivered to you, or get it there.
Get
And
it
you've
in
got ready.
advance, as far in advance as you can, when it's probably at its cheapest as well.
Yes.
I don't know what
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like in
'cause the
foreign
fares before.
countries, but here in the UK it can be sometimes quite expensive and all that.
Yeah, the fares will go up. And make sure you get to the station in good enough time
Yeah.
as well, because they will not wait. You need to make sure you're on that train.
Yes.
They can be a little bit stressful. Again, not as stressful as plane travel, but that we'll get to that. I think we'll leave that one to last because that's the one with the most stuff. And,
Aye.
but yeah, and make sure you make sure you look at the timetables and any delays or cancellations,
Yes.
so you're aware.
Naturally.
You will
Indeed.
you'll probably get notified in advance. If you look at the website, you probably get notified if any cancellations happen.
Yeah.
But if you're in the UK, oh no,
It's gonna happen
a tiny little
frequently.
snowflake. Yeah, a tiny little
Yeah.
snowflake has hit the line. Oh, we can't move now.
Indeed. The other thing I would say is being aware of when when you're actually on the train. One of those things that sometimes you can easily overlook is are you in a silent coach or something like that? Being well aware of any little rules, things like that. You don't want to get yourself into trouble or anything for
Yeah, because
doing stuff that you weren't meant to be doing.
I've had issues on the train where people are talking on loudspeaker.
Oh God.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Can you not just speak privately on the phone? We don't want to hear what Maury did last night.
You don't want to hear the ins and outs of your business deal that you're closing in on with some boring ass company in some city somewhere. We don't need
Yeah,
to know.
and then hearing all of the shitty business speak. Why don't we circle around and park that idea? Oh God,
Yes. I think we need to rethink our corporate ethos, Phil.
we've got to just synergize.
Let's park that idea for the time being.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, just like ours, no. But also, I would say when you're in the train, if someone does come sit next to you, allow them, give them space and
Yes.
everything. Obviously, you might not like people sitting next to you, but if it's full, then they've got no other choice.
Yeah.
As well.
Be prepared to move those bags of yours off the seat and into the actual luggage compartment where they belong and all that. Indeed. That actually also applies, obviously, if you're using buses as well. Don't put your feet or your bags on
Actually,
seats.
yeah, I just thought about it. Let's combine those because I missed out buses.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll combine trains and buses. Yeah, buses are sort of the same thing, except they don't run on tracks.
Oh,
you go.
there you go.
Yeah,
You'd
but
never
they'll
guess
have
that,
to
would you?
sit next to you. And usually, I think nowadays more buses do use allow you to use card payment, but most of the time it was cash. But oh God, I remember the rigmarole because when you used to live up north, we would always take the bus to and from each other's house,
Yeah.
and it was always getting in and waiting to. Because the bus won't stop until you tell it to stop. Unlike a train, which obviously stops at designated stations, the bus you have to ping the bell, going ding, and miss it. And then if you're in York, he don't come.
God, that guy. Oh, yes. Indeed. That's a little in-joke between me and Phil one time years ago when we went on a trip to York and then we took the bus out to go to Eden Camp and we didn't actually know where it was, and if it wasn't for the bus driver shouting it out, we would have
'Cause it was
bypassed
hidden.
it.
It was hidden by a load of trees and bushes, which was. But anyway, we're going to do that because that's more on that is when we talked about museum trips.
Yes.
Your episode on museum trips, we went on that one. But yeah, buses. You have to be a bit more considerate, especially with especially the front counters, which are more for elderly or disabled people.
Yeah.
And don't annoy the driver.
Indeed.
Can't really do that in a train, but if you're going to annoy the driver.
You
Not
go
like,
right to
"Hello?"
the front and you start hammering on his door to his cab. Are you in there? You in there? You driving? Hey, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're driving, and also don't if you haven't got a ticket, don't go and hide in the toilet to try and not say you haven't got a ticket. The ticket conductor will come.
Yeah. They'll know.
You can't hide from them. Ticket,
Indeed.
please. Yeah, some people do that, but they don't get away with it.
No.
You can actually get fined if you don't actually have a ticket
Yeah.
when you're on the train. But obviously, that's not fair for stations that don't have ticket booths.
Yeah. I mean,
You
are there any stations that don't have ticket booths? I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, obviously, yeah, you know, you can. Most people probably nowadays book online, but still feel like you've got to have that facility, right, for anyone who
Nope.
doesn't. Does it not?
No,
Oh.
no. There's plenty. When I used to when I was at university, I would take the train from home, from parents' house to university, and a couple they were quite small stations, and they didn't have ticket booths.
I see.
So people had to pay on the train, which they're fine. The conductor can take payment there.
Yeah.
Tickets, please.
If it is like
tickets.
A small
Can I see your tickets,
station.
please? What's really annoying is when a different train conductor comes on, but you've already had your ticket checked. They have to check it again now.
Indeed.
Oh, I've already shown it.
I've already shown me ticket. Indeed.
They also have to judge who the new face is.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've noticed that when I've been on and the ticket conductors come along again, they obviously skip me because they know that I'm there, but they have to work out the new faces and get them.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Phil. We're checking you again because you've got a very forgettable face.
How dare you? I noticed that when we were in Germany, the S-Bahn and everything, we've got a ticket, but they never checked. They never did check tickets there.
Maybe it's more trusting in Germany.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, that just goes to show you the German public are a lot more trusting the British public, which does make sense, that I will say.
Yes. Indeed.
Also, common courtesy for buses and trains. Let people off before you get on.
Yes.
Don't try and rush in and everything. You've got people need to be that. It's not like a law or a rule. It's an unwritten rule.
Yeah.
For both buses and trains, just let people come off first before you do. Don't just try to barge in to get in.
And a very specific one, if you're ever somewhere like the London Underground and you're going down the escalators or up them, it's like, unless you're actually, when you're on the escalators, it's like keep right unless you're actually physically moving to go up, leave the left-hand side clear so that people who want to pass you can up the escalators.
No, it's to the right side. People want
to
move fast. Yeah, people want to move fast, go up the right side.
I knew it was one of them. I can't remember which one, but yes.
God, the Underground can be really packed.
It can.
Oh God, it's crazy to do. And probably no doubt other subway systems like the New York subway will be, or the Paris Metro, the German U-Bahn, and the Russian metro system. They'll all be really busy and horrendous.
They will. All horrendous and all that.
All horrendous. Okay, I think we've done enough with that one.
Yeah.
Let's move on to one that's not as common, but people do boat travel.
Yes.
So boats or cruise liners or things like that. Now, I don't know about you. I've been on a lot of boats, ships. I've been on the some of the ferries that take you over from like Calais, Dover, and all that. And that, when you go down to the port for that, you might have to wait for a bit before it actually arrives. You just have to sit there in the car park and then drive on. And for God's sake, when you're on the ferries like that, please don't forget to put your car handbrake on, because otherwise your car's just going to roll backwards. Yeah. And that'd be really bad.
I think they obviously have clamps that they put it down to the deck as well, so it holds it in place. But yeah, put your handbrake on and all that if you're on like a roll-on, roll-off, taking your car. But yeah, I mean, so boat travel is like it's not something I've done very frequently, and my only real experience of it is going on overnight roll-on, roll-off ferries. Yeah, like
it's not
Zeebrugge, things like that.
I have been, because my auntie and uncle used to own a sailing boat, and I have been on that. I have been on their boat with them. They don't have it anymore. They're too old now, and they've got loads and loads of grandkids. So they gave up. But yeah, I've been on their boat with them, and that's an experience, being on a sailing boat and watching them do all the various knots and things. God, it looks like hard work. But they had a nice little, and it was like a nice little cabin as well. Yeah. Just make sure you're not seasick.
The only thing with sailing boats is, obviously very limited space aboard them, so it can get cramped. Because my dad went on one once years and years ago with several of his friends. There's about 4 of them wedged onto a little sailing yacht, and basically it's like there's only really one main cabin, so it's like you're all having to wedge yourselves in there at night when you're trying to get to sleep, so it can be a bit cramped, to put it that way.
That was one of the incidents where I almost fell into the water.
Really?
Yeah, because they docked the boat, and it was between the boat and the quay, and I nearly went in, but luckily my auntie managed to grab me.
How old were you at this time?
Probably about 6 or 7.
Oh, so you're quite young then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was quite young. Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been
So,
funny if you'd said, "Oh yeah, I was about, I don't know, 25." Yeah.
and I could still couldn't manage it. Yeah, but yeah, I haven't done much boat travel. Did a bit of sailing with the auntie and uncle, and just some overnight ferries. And it's funny, the overnight ferries they do look like a massive shopping centres inside them
Yeah.
sometimes.
Well, they
Don't
have all that duty free, obviously, because once you're in international waters and all that, you're outside jurisdiction of any
Oh
country,
God,
so free of
duty free.
taxes. Yeah.
Fucking hell. Where like a pack of chocolates is like £9.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which, talking about duty frees, makes us move on to move on to our final form
One
of
thing
travel.
I'll just say very quickly about overnight ferries before we move on.
Shut the fuck up. We're moving to plane travel now.
Damn,
Yes, go on.
blooming heck. Yeah, if you do go on an overnight ferry, find out if the people you're going to be sharing a cabin with first, if they are heavy snorers and therefore you want a cabin of your own.
Oh, God.
Because I've had that in the past. I've been on an overnight ferry and the people I've been bunking with are heavy snorers and the ship is setting out and is going to be sort of sounding the morning bell at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't get to sleep till about 3 in the morning, so I only got about 4 hours sleep. So I was like,
no.
yeah, lovely. Just bear that in mind, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that snoring. Oh God, it can be really annoying, can't it?
Yeah, it can.
But there's people who do it. Okay, so final travel plane.
Planes.
And everywhere, which is obviously we've done it very recently. We're going to Germany. Now, there's a lot to do for plane travel.
Indeed.
It can be very stressful because you've got to buy all the boarding tickets. You've got to make sure you've got wherever you're going, all the accommodation and everything in there. But it's just like getting to the airport in itself is a bloody task.
Yeah, it is. Set out way in advance, basically.
Yeah, they want you to ideally be there 2 to 3 hours early.
Yeah. Give yourself plenty of time, ladies and gents.
But then the annoying thing is when you do give yourself plenty of time and you go through security and then you've still got you've managed to get through quite smoothly, then it's like, oh, well, okay. I've still got an hour and a half yet.
Hang out around the duty free, Phil. Look at overpriced concessions and goods.
God, duty free are ridiculously expensive, but they can charge that because they know that you can't get anything anywhere else.
Indeed.
So plane travel's a big one. You've got to make sure you get you can now check in online, so you don't have to go to a check-in desk anymore.
Yeah.
So you can bypass all that. And then there's the rigmarole going through security. So just make sure you've got everything out before you say, so you're not waiting. Because they do say, there's always signs say that can be usually a huge queue when you go through security. But get your things out and ready. If you've got things that are metallic, get them off, like belts and everything.
Indeed.
Watches, phones, laptops. Get them all out. Put them in the trays and let them go through.
Aye. I just think, obviously, with aeroplane travel, once you're through all that and, they call you for boarding, try and, form some kind of orderly queue. Don't just,
oh God,
have a big melee over at the boarding gate.
Oh God.
Yes.
Yeah, the people are like rushed to try and get on there first.
Yeah.
And you're looking at them like, you're not going to be getting there faster than us.
You're not even in the row that they've called. Indeed.
Yeah. Oh, it's that one because they call it row by row.
Yeah.
And you're waiting. Is it our turn to get up there? No, not yet. They're calling these. And you
One
go
of
through
those.
the desk. Yeah, that's the first part before you're actually ready to board is just having to mill around the area, maybe get a drink or some food. Yeah, just try and wait, and then when you finally get called to the gate, just go in nice and smoothly, get on the plane, whether you're going through stairs, the famous tunnel, or you have to take a bus.
Yes.
That's all depending on where the plane's parked.
Yeah. Indeed it is, yes. And then, once you're actually on the plane, try and be nice and orderly and respectful to the stewards and stewardesses. Pay attention in the safety briefing and all that.
Make sure it's a zero tolerance policy usually, so don't act aggressive or anything.
No.
That's why they don't like people because some people do drink a lot of alcohol. That's the funny thing about airports. People drink a pint of beer at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I don't get why. It's just like, the last thing you want is a freaking drunk person when you're up in the air on what is basically a giant flying metal can for several hours. Yeah,
they're being unruly.
Yes.
Yeah, just make sure you sit in your seat, listen to the safety talks, and then just relax, do whatever you want to relax, read a book.
Yes.
If you brought some games, Nintendo Switches and things like that, or just listen to music, and everything will be good.
if you're trying to join the Mile High Club, to put it that way, the stewards and stewardesses all know what you're doing. You're that obvious when there's a friggin'
Yeah.
certain cubicle on board the plane that has not opened for a long, long time. They know.
And the fact that when they see, why is that a man and a woman suddenly going to the toilet here?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Or one person slips out, and then several seconds later, another person slips out. It's like,
Yeah.
you weren't in there before.
I believe it's highly, highly frowned upon, and I
Yeah.
think it might actually be. I think it might actually be illegal now.
Probably, yeah.
You could get done in by the police when you get on the
Yes,
ground.
Indeed. I just think it's probably
just
just very unhygienic. That's why.
Oh
Yeah.
God, yeah, airplane toilets.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. They actually say, isn't it, that the tray tables actually got more germs on
Oh
it
yeah.
than
Probably.
the toilet seat.
Because the thing is, like, between those planes, obviously, the turnaround between flights is very quick, so they don't have actually much time between flights to clean them.
Yeah.
So it's probably the toilets probably do get a good blast of proper cleaning chemicals, but everything else probably just gets like a very quick wipe down.
Yes, that's why you got to be careful, and you're eating food off that.
Yeah.
Just to forget as well.
Indeed.
That's also overly expensive. The food on planes as well.
Yeah.
Although there's some planes, I think it's like British Airways, where you can actually get free food.
Yeah.
Depending on how much you pay for a
I
flight.
mean, if there's if it's a flight that has an in-flight meal schedule part of it, then you'll get that as part of the price of the ticket. But yeah, some flights which don't do that or which offer additional snacks and things, it will be expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got to be careful. And,
Yes.
I used to, when I was younger, I used to always have issues with my ears.
Oh,
They would always, because
yes.
you're going up high pressure, they would always pop and they'd really hurt.
Yeah.
So my mum and dad would always have a packet of sweets,
Yes.
to suck on or to have just to try and
pressure.
equalise the pressure in the ears.
Yeah.
Because it was really bad.
That can always be an absolute pain. Yeah. Especially if you're a bit susceptible to sensitive ear problems.
Yeah. And then the next thing, when you do arrive, don't rush off the plane
No,
either.
don't.
Oh God! It's as soon as it hits, even people start getting up. Even
Yeah.
when as soon as the seatbelt sign comes off, right? Everyone, right? Where's my bag? Let's get. Oh, hold on a minute. It's not even got to the bloody terminal
Yeah.
yet.
It's not even taxied. You're already up.
I know, and they're trying to get the bags down. And then when you go out, make sure you get your bags speedily. If you have to go to baggage claim. That's it. Just waiting there for the belt to move. You're like, come on, and then it finally moves. And you're like, is that my bag? Oh, I can't see. And sometimes some people have the same bag as another.
Yeah.
You're like, oh God, is that my bag? This is why it's a good idea probably to put a little ribbon on.
Yeah, something that personalises your bag so you can tell it's yours.
Yeah. And then you grab it and go. And then wherever you go after that, whether you're taking train journeys, bus journeys, or if you're going to get a hire car, which could be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I remember when I was younger, my parents at the hire car desk, like Europe Car or Hertz or something, and they're just spending ages filling out loads of paperwork.
That is one of the things that always just puts me off hire cars, just like the paperwork and things like that. You just think, oh God.
Yeah, what do you do if you crash it? And then you have to go. Then you have to go to the car and do a big inspection.
Oh yes.
And if you find like scratch or something, go back and say, look, this was here, so they can't nab you. 'Cause
Yeah.
they will try and nab you when you bring it back and
will.
say, oh, there's a scratch here. We're taking this off the deposit.
And a general actual point just about luggage and all that, apart from having something like a ribbon or something tied on so you can identify it, put like an actual card with it that has your details in case, flights sometimes. Oh, sorry, I just got a WhatsApp message. Just in case, your luggage gets misplaced and ends up on the wrong flight somewhere, so that whoever gets it can send it back to you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you need to. That's what you need to think of.
Yeah. Padlock it.
Padlock it, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you can then you're free to leave as well. Yeah, it can. It's one of the most stressful forms of travel is plane travel because you've got to get there and get everything and get ready, and make sure you have something to fuel your stomach. Unlike me, you had a bit of an incident.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yes. Well, I think we've talked about that before, though, haven't we, Phil? When we were talking about
I think we
our
have,
Munich
yeah.
trip.
Yeah, but that's still a fantastic trip. That,
It
and
was.
we did well to get over there and enjoy our time there.
Yes.
So yeah, I think those are the main forms of travel.
Yeah. Indeed.
I think we've gone over them there. It's a little bit of interesting tips for everyone, isn't it?
Yes. Interesting little tips and things for people to bear in mind. I mean, a lot of it is, fairly kind of no-brainer stuff. Like most people probably anticipate it, but sometimes you get like that one little thing that you don't think of, which you probably should have, and then suddenly like, shoot, I didn't do such and such a thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes. Indeed.
Yeah, it can happen. Okay, well there we go. I think that's a good little episode there. We've
Yeah.
got over some various modes of transport and travel.
Aye, we have indeed.
Travel tips. Yeah.
Travel tippy whippies, yes. And of course, if you are travelling overseas and all that, first thing you should do in the planning process probably is make sure you know where your accommodation's going to be, where you're staying when you get over there. Then you plan everything else around that, the travel and everything.
Oh God, yes, yeah. Don't forget that, because you don't
Get
want
that
to end
hotel
up with nowhere
booked
to
first.
stay.
Yes. Indeed. Well, thanks for joining me there, Phil.
We've had a nice little tips and tricks. Yeah.
Indeed we have. Okay, well, in that case, ladies and gentlemen, we'll wrap up here, so I hope you enjoyed that. Social media links, propagandist channel link, etc., all down in the video description for anyone interested, and if you enjoyed, a like is, of course, always appreciated. Well, Nat, we're signing off now, aren't we, Phil?
We are indeed. Thank you, everyone, for listening to our
TED
Talk.
Yeah,
that's it, TED Talk.
We're thinking of the same thing there. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
I think that's going to be about... Yes, Megan, of course. Can't forget her. That's who we're here to rescue. So we completed the Peg Leg Mountains chapter in the last episode. I did technically miss a piece of treasure in that. I was checking the artifacts screen on the main menu. Yeah, I got 2 of the artifacts in that previous chapter. Unfortunately, I did miss one. Right, yeah. There's Chinese warriors everywhere here. Martial guys, goons. That's what we're dealing with in this one. He's got a little spear. That's unfortunate, and I don't have any of my previous weapons. That kind of sucks. It's a bit annoying that they do sort of vanish from this area. Get that! Get his fucking thing! Get his fucking spear! Nope. Shiny spear! What the hell are you doing over there?